Welcome to the sixth video in the series of videos on history of electricity. If you haven't seen the previous videos, I strongly urge you to take a look at them to see the build-up on where we are now on an exciting journey. So around 1777 to 1851, there's a famous physicist, Oersted, did an experiment which changed the way we live. For the first time, he established a link between electricity and magnetism after about 1,500 years. So he had a current passing through in a conductor, and he showed that it deflected a magnetic needle, which meant that there was some link between electricity and magnetism. So once that link was established, from around 1797 to 1878 came Joseph Henry, who was an American engineer, if you may call him, who was in Schenectady in modern New York. He was from there, and he developed the first practical uses of Oersted's finding. He developed the so-called electromagnets, and the electromagnets are nothing but if you pass a current, it makes a magnet as you pass a current in a coil. As you can see here, the current, which is a current that is passed through this coils here, and as these currents are passed through, this becomes a magnet, and it was an amazing demonstration that he did, where he could lift over a ton of weight, about 1,000 kilograms of weight, and he could, to make it dramatic, he would stop the electricity, and all the 1,000 kg would come as a thud, and as it falls down. So he would do dramatic experiments to show the power of electromagnets. Henry was also responsible for the first concept of electric motor, and in fact it was Henry and Faraday met and shared their experiments around 1831, and Michael Faraday was in the same timelines as Henry, but he was responsible for discovering electromagnetic induction. So basically the whole idea is, if you have a current which is passing through the set of coils here, and as it falls down into another coil where no current is passed, he observed that it produced a magnetic deflection, right? So this is a magnetic deflection. So from this, or sorry, not a magnetic deflection, it is a current deflection, right? Of course, all current deflections are due to the magnetism of needle, which interacts with the current that flows. So he discovered that when the current is flowing through this coil and he drops this coil, he started seeing that the current was it was flowing through this, and this probably would have been the early ammeter or galvanometer, for which Faraday used in his experiment. So once again, if the current is passing through the inner coil, and as it's dropped, he discovered that the current was starting to flow in the outer coil. And this is the principle of modern day electromagnetic induction. He also showed that a rotating copper disc produces current electricity. As you can see on this left diagram, as this copper rotates and there is a magnetic field, you can actually produce electricity, and this leads to the first idea of generator. Around 1789 to 1854, George Simon Ohm, he built up a mathematical relationship, what we call as Ohm's law, between the voltage and current. So this was in 1827 was a great moment in current history of current electricity. The Ohm's law is a basis for all the circuit analysis today and design of all circuits. Around 1879, the first light bulb was discovered by Thomas Alva Edison. Not only he discovered the light bulb, he also set up the first electric power plant near Niagara Falls, wherein he produced a DC current. Probably he would have had this copper disc rotate through the falling, the force of the water. It would be rotating that copper disc across a magnet, and he would be generating DC. But the issue with DC was he couldn't transmit this for long. So around the same timeline, Nikola Tesla, he was instrumental in discovering AC current, which is modern way of producing current and transmitting it efficiently. And he also discovered the induction motor. In the next video, we will see, right from about late 1800s to early 1900, how our understanding of current electricity and our perspective of current electricity has changed. So that will be the last in the series of videos. Until then, see you. Bye.